Working capital indeed is the cash that you use to run your business day in, day out. And it is important for you to learn how to manage your working capital for the following reasons. Number one, when you're keeping your eye on the dashboard of working capital in your business, it prompts you to know, hey, there's I need money in that pool of cash. So is there anybody out there who has my money? And if there is, then it prompts you, we need to send reminders, we need to collect that money. So that's why it's important for you to manage, your working capital. Otherwise you won't see it, you'll forget. And if you forget, then, it will work against you, because that's cash that you need to finance your business. Another reason why it's important for you to manage your working capital, you'll be able to spot out cash gaps. And then way in advance, you'll be able to, weigh your options and see where you can possibly get money so that you keep your business up and running. Another thing is you'll be able to secure a standby financing. So you'll say, okay, let's, Nyambura, can we please just have an overdraft just in case? And because you had already arranged that ahead of time, as you run your business, as you expect to, to bring in those collections, there are delays maybe from getting money from your customers and so on. At least you'll have an option. You'll be able to still keep your business up and running. Another thing working capital management does is it prompts you to identify that you have some excess cash sitting in your bank accounts, and that prompts you to make that money work for you. And another reason is, why don't you employ this cash to work for you? And I know as business people, you're very, very busy day in, day out. You're sweating, you're toiling, you're trying to move things in your business to make your business run in a profitable manner. But you know what? You can also employ cash to work for you. You can put it in a short-term investment. You can put it in a high yield interest earning account. And you know what? As you work, your money is also working for you, so that you can enhance or increase your profitability, and always look out for that extra opportunity where you can make money. So those are some of the reasons why we say working capital management is important. If you don't have cash to run your business for whatever reason, it is actually something that is very concerning. And that's why working capital management is very, very important. But even as we talk about working capital management, let me just confirm that we are understanding each other very well. When we talk about working capital management, what are we talking about? So there's a definition there on your screen, and you can see that working capital management is a set of activities performed by a company to make use of, to make sure that it has enough resources for day-to-day operating expenses, while keeping resources invested in a productive way. There are a number of things that jump out to us from that definition, that working capital management is a set of activities, una shughuli fulani, more than one thing that you're supposed to be engaged in as a business person to ensure that you're on top of the game as far as working capital management is concerned. It's about ensuring that you have enough resources. So maybe you would ask yourself, what is the optimal amount of resources my business or cash my business requires? And that goes back to these conversations that we have been having from our very first webinar when we talked about cash flow management. And we said, after all, I call you guys employee number 001 of your business. You are the owner manager. And so as you track the cash flow in and out of your business, and you use these tools that we are sharing with you, you have your cash flow forecast in place, you have your budgets and so on, you'll have a rough idea of how much your business requires. And so you'll know how much is enough and what is in excess. You'll be able to know that. You're in a good position to know that. It's about day-to-day running of the business. There are certain expenses, kuna madeni za kulipa hapa na pale. There are certain commitments, they're just the normal business running expenses. And you need cash for that. That's what working capital management is all about. And then we've said that when you identify, it's about, keeping key resources, cash, invested in a way that you don't have too much cash idling around and not using it so that you can make that extra coin. So that's what working capital management is about. So last time we calculated working capital, and just to remind you, we got 385,000, and that's why I have put that amount there. So we said it is possible for you to be running a profitable business. You're making profits, but you know what? Without cash, nothing, not a single thing can take place in your business. And so let me just share some quick tips of what you can do so that you can manage working capital as a whole. Number one, you need to track your cash levels, stocks, debtors, and creditors. The second thing you need to do is to perhaps consider automating your business processes to ensure that money can travel faster. What do I mean? We're now living in a digital space. So when you're able to, at the touch of a button, just push your computer at the touch of a button, and it shows you, who owes you money, how much, exactly where they are, and so on. That prompts you to quickly, follow up so that you can collect your money. At the touch of a button, you can see, hey, we need to pay certain suppliers and how much and by when. At the touch of a button, you can see which stock items of yours are moving and so on. So let's consider automating, because we used to say that this is the way of the future. This is the way, right now we need to take our businesses. And then number three, secure standby lines of financing. The fourth one there is identifying your cash inflows and outflows. We talked about some of the tips that help you to become a cash pro, a cash flow, pro. And it's all about keeping your eye on cash, because that's what we want to avoid to run out of. And then make sure that you run a profitable business. And that's why we are continuing this conversation. We'll have a whole session to talk about profitability. And this is so important, because if you don't keep your eye on the profits, you'll find that you're spending a lot of money and your expenses are more than the income that you're bringing in. Okay, and that money, where is it coming from? You see, it ends up eroding and eating, into your investment in the business. So those are some important tips that I can give you as far as, working capital management is concerned. So let's see how we can manage those. And for each of these components, there are just three things that I want us to focus on. I want you to focus on the speed, the length of time that it takes for you to empty that container into the tank. Okay, so we're going to look at the time frame. How fast is your business able to convert to into cash? We're going to have a look at that. We're going to see how to calculate that, and then I'll leave you with some tips that you can use to enhance your working capital management as far as each of these components are concerned. The working capital cycle, this is what we said, that it's all about assessing the ability of your business in terms of the time that it takes for you to convert your current assets into cash. That's what it's all about, because that cash is what your business is depending on, to be able to run the business. And then we did say that in terms of the formula, and I see you've gotten it, it's about taking, looking at three components. Your stock holding days. How much time does it take for you to convert your stocks into cash? And then it's about the debtor days. And then it's about also the creditor days. How long do you take before you pay your commitments. So thank you so much for that. And so let's now begin to look at each of these components. Stocks. Why is it important for us to look at stocks? So it is important for you to track your stocks, because depending on the kind of business that you're running, you would find that when we look at your current assets, quite a big portion, for example, if you're a retailer, would be your money that is tied up in your stocks. And we say that the one and only reason why you get stocks is so that you can sell them. You need to be able to resell them and make money. So stock management then is about keeping your eye on those stocks and asking yourself, how much time is it taking for my business to convert these stocks into cash? So it's a timing difference. So we are going to define what stock holding days are, and then we're going to compute them, and then we look at, we finish off with some tips. When we talk about stock holding days, this is the average number of days that a company holds its inventory before selling it. And remember, we said that any kind of stocks you have, the one and only reason, the thing at the top of your mind should be to sell as fast as possible. Because the more you hold on to it, it may perish. It's tying up your cash. You need to pay maybe storage facilities, insurance, security costs, maybe a storekeeper. There's a risk that the things may be stolen and things like that. So you need to track the average number of days that your stock is moving. This is how you keep your eyes on your stocks. And how to do that, how to calculate that, is you say that your stock holding days per annum, this is just a formula, you don't have to think too much about it. You take your average stock and you divide by the cost of sales and you multiply by 365. Now, why do we talk about average stock there? We talk about average stock. Take your opening stock, add your closing stock, and then divide by 2. Why? Because you want to track the movement of stocks. You want to track that movement of stocks because it's about the ability of your business to push out stocks in the shortest time possible. And the rule of the thumb here is that the fewer the length of time, the shorter the time period within which you're able to convert your stocks into cash, the better it is for you. And it contributes to shortening your working capital cycle. So that's how it works. Now, let's go ahead and calculate that for company XYZ. And so what I have done is I have extracted some information which is going to help you. This information is coming from your balance sheet. And then we also have some information coming from your profit and loss account. Now, if you wanted to find out, so we are saying that it takes company XYZ 56 days in a year to turn over their stock, to convert their stock into cash. So please divide that by 30 days and let's get an idea of how many months it takes for this company to convert their stocks into cash. So I think we need to commend, just like the way you do something good in your organization, will come and commend you. Let's give it up for company XYZ's management. But of course, it depends on what they're selling. But the bottom line is that they are able to convert their stocks into cash under 2 months. Honestly, that is commendable. But what if you find yourself in a situation where you're not as efficient of company XYZ? What are some tips that I would offer to you? Number 1, make sure that you fine-tune your forecasting, your ability, that basis for you to buy the number of stocks that products that you're buying. And this is all a function of forecasting. So when you're doing your forecasting, please try and get it right.